Hey folks, how's it going? I'm here with my boy Gary. What's up, Gary?
How you guys doing?
We're in September, so we're talking about step 9. And so I invited Gary back. You might remember we invited Gary, I think that was back in step 3, right? Can't even remember now, I should have checked. It's all good. Well, Gary's been in recovery now. He's been clean and sober for over 8 years. And he's helped a lot of people in their recovery as well. He's sponsored quite a lot of people, and he's my partner in our recovery group with Project Heal. So we continue the work by doing these videos and sharing with you some insights from a lot of experienced people. So I sent Gary some questions, and I asked him, one of the questions I asked him was, why is forgiveness such an important part of the steps? That's the first question. Go ahead, Gary.
Forgiveness. Well, a lot of times we get into recovery, we start working the steps, and we're still holding on to these resentments, these things we need to let go. They talk about resentment is the number one killer. It takes everybody out. Nobody wants to forgive the person that wronged them. Nobody wants to look at their part in the wrong. Good one.
We forget, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people forget. They get to blame, and not really realizing that they were the ones that caused it.
This one's the hard one because of all the steps, we've kind of been preparing for this one, right? This is like one of the first ones where we step out and involve other people.
Right. This is about cleaning up our past.
Ooh, good one.
This is about taking a look at everything and actually walking to that person and trying to make amends for it.
Yeah, that's true. So how do people prepare themselves though? Like, what suggestions do you have? Because I know you had to do that. That's kind of scary, kind of hard, right? So, what are things that you do to prepare yourself?
Well, the thing about it is you already done, you did the dirt. You caused the problems. By now you already done know that everything that you've been blaming someone for pretty much stems off the actions that you took. So now is the time to say, man, I made these actions and I want to feel good inside. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make these steps and I'm going to make amends to these people and clean my side of the street.
There you go, clean. You got to catch that, what Gary just said. You're not responsible for cleaning the other person's side of the street. You're only responsible for your side. That's good, Gary. Okay. How are we gonna feel good about ourselves if we don't clean our side of the street? Integrity is a big part of things. If you want to just keep all that dirt in and all those things festering in you, then you're gonna stay drunk. You're gonna stay high. Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's not just Gary saying it. It's in the big book.
Yeah, it's in the big book.
Forgiveness, asking for forgiveness, cleaning up your side of the street. That is huge part of recovery. Really, it's just part of like a spiritual walk, right?
Exactly. It releases you from so much bondage and it just opens up a whole new door to freedom. I've seen a lot of people that are working their steps. They start doing step 1 and 2, and they think they can jump to 9 and start making amends, and that's not the way it works. You gotta do your steps in order. You gotta do 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 9. You can't just jump from 1 to 9.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because I was thinking that this step is so important. It's put down all the way at 9. That means you needed all those other steps to kind of prepare you to go actually talk to people now, right? To actually say to them, hey, I messed up. How do you know which people though that you're supposed to make amends to?
Well, on step 4, you do a personal inventory.
Yep.
And part of that inventory is the people that you've wronged, and those people that you've wronged, you pretty much, you take that list and then you put it onto another one.
Yep, that's step 8, right?
And you put it onto another one, and you look at it and say, well, I need to go and make amends to these people.
Yeah.
And some of these people that you need to make amends to, you might not be able to find them. You might not be able to say, hey, well, I was really bad, and I stole this person's wallet one time, and I really feel bad about it because it was he couldn't pay his rent, or she couldn't pay his rent, and I really want to go and make amends to him for that. But they moved out of state, and there's no way you get a hold of them.
So how do you take care of that?
I mean, you do it with prayer, and you say, I'm gonna make a living amends, and I'm never gonna do nothing like that again in my life.
Nice.
And then you start walking with integrity. Someone drops their wallet, you pick it up and say, hey man, you dropped this, bud.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great way. So it's not just necessarily getting in front of the person, but also changing your actions, right? That's what this whole step is really about. It's really kind of like a catapult to change your actions.
Exactly. It's about living a whole new way.
Ooh, yeah, living a whole new way. How about people that maybe passed away and you feel in your heart you should have asked their forgiveness?
Well, in 2004 and the beginning of 2005, I lost both my parents within a 4.5 month period.
Mm-hmm.
And what I can tell you is I put them through hell.
Yep.
You know, I put them through my incarcerations. I put them through my staying up all night and not answering their phone calls when they're worried about me. I put them through everything, you know. And then when they passed away, and I ended up getting clean and sober years later, I'm like, how am I going to make amends to them? You know, I kind of really destroyed their life because all they wanted to do is give me the best and want the best for me. So what I did is I wrote a letter, and I told my mom and dad exactly what a worthless son I was. I told them about how you know, how I used them and how the things I did, and the non-appreciation that I was for them being my parents and the way they loved me. I told them all the things that I pretty much done, and then I told them how I'm doing this recovery now, and I've changed my life.
Nice.
You know, I told them about I've worked my step. I've got a sponsor, and I've been clean and sober for this long, and I just want them to let them know that I'm not living like I used to, and I would really like to make amends to them. And then I did this. I took my whole family to my mom's graveside, and I read this. And as I started reading it, it started drizzling rain, and we were all holding hands, and everybody just started crying. And I just told my mom, you know, please forgive me for the actions I have. I'm changing my life, and I just want to let you know how sorry I am for the way I treated you. And then we prayed, and I left the letter there at the graveside, and we walked away.
Wow, beautiful. So, I knew this part of Gary's story, so that's why I asked him to share it too, because I know some of us are out there probably wondering the same thing. Well, I've hurt some people and they're gone now, and I didn't get a chance to ask them. But Gary's story shows you there is a way to make amends, to ask for forgiveness of people that you can't reach out to necessarily. You know, they passed on in this world. And then, you know, like he mentioned earlier, you know, it's your changed actions, you know, that makes a difference, not repeating what you've done before. So that's really beautiful.
And one thing we need to remember is once we do write this letter and we leave it there, or else we burn it, however we want to do it, remember not to pick the letter back up. Leave your amends there. Don't take those resentments with you.
Yeah, nice.
Because a lot of times we may say, hey, you know, I'm making amends, but then you walk away and you're still feeling like crap because of all the things you've done.
Yeah.
That amends is a process that you're letting go of those things. You're giving yourself. That's what's called cleaning your side of the street. So you're letting go of all this stuff. So you ain't got to hold on to it no more. Let God hold on to it.
Nice. Yeah. And that's it. That's it, people. That's pretty much what this is all about, is really cleaning our side of the house and then living a new life, right? We cannot really move on to the next steps until we take this action step. So this is key. Like we said earlier, you know, all the other 8 steps prepared you for this, and this is going to be one of the toughest things that you probably will do in your recovery, but it's definitely a necessary part. I mean, look, it's helped Gary stay clean and sober, what, 8 years, you said? Yeah. I mean, just think about that. You know, you think it's a small thing, but really it isn't. It's like Gary says, cleaning up your side of the street. It really is cleaning up your heart, right?
Yeah, we as God's people, we all got different rooms in our soul, and if we want to keep them cluttered, how can God go and clean them?
Yeah.
You know, you want to keep all those things in there, and you just want to let them fester, and you're gonna stay miserable.
Yep.
You know, that's why I tell people, you know, if you like to pick your misery back up at the door, yeah, I mean, you can go ahead.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
It's either that or work your steps thoroughly.
Yep.
Honestly. You know, work them with your heart.
Yeah.
If you give your heart, what's going to happen? You're going to get your heart back, and God's going to give it to you tenfold. So,
yeah, amen to that one. That's a good one. All right, Gary, any last words for our folks? Something maybe to encourage them during this step?
Yeah, if you're struggling with this, I mean, you already lived it. You know, it's time for you to clean your past. It's time for you to make a difference. I'm trying to get my record expunged. You know, my record's is thorough. You know, and I don't want to live by the past. I want to live by the future. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
I want to be here
one.
in the present. You know, I want to be a father, grandfather, and friend.
Yeah.
You know, so
Papa.
Papa, all you that are struggling with it, hey, just do it.
There you go. All right, folks, hang in there. We're holding up good thoughts for you. We're praying for you. All right, till next time.
Take care.